Are you struggling with feeling stuck in your life journey? Does it seem as if the challenges or conflicts that you keep experiencing are on repeat? Healing through feeling could be your new way through to a more satisfying life. Now, here is the host of the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide, Sharyn Nichols.
Welcome, everybody. Today's show is all about consciousness and raising our vibrations. And you are listening to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols. And I'm so excited that you are all here with me today. Sorry, I'm having a little technical difficulty here for the moment. I'm all good now. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I've been doing this for over 25 years. And I also like to call myself a life guide because everyone who I come in contact with likes to share with me what's going on in their life and then look to me for some help or guidance. And I help individuals and couples who are experiencing the communication breakdowns. So I get to just offer another perspective, perhaps another way of looking at things. And my whole belief system is about our thoughts lead to feelings, which lead to actions. And I believe we have control over our actions and reactions. So giving a different perspective can also help with regards to that. So don't we all want a more satisfying, successful, and peaceful life? I'm just going to keep taking breaths. I've been reminded consistently that I just need to keep breathing. I've noticed that I hold my breath a lot. So, with that in mind, I'm going to start today's show, as I do, with our meditation. And today's meditation is all about the crown chakra, since I said we are opening up and connecting to the higher vibrations, the cosmos, the crown. I figured we should start with opening up our crown chakra because it is the seventh chakra. It is represented by the color violet or purple. As you see, I'm wearing purple. I try and match my colors with what is going on in my world at the time. And it is the top chakra that connects through all the other chakras. So I know I've done this before and we'll go through them. It's the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and then the crown. So the root grounds us and then the crown connects us out. So we're constantly in flow of the energy between Mother Earth and Father Sky. So we're all working with the energy of the life itself and all around us, because everything, according to me, I will say, although other people believe this as well, that everything has energy and that we are all connected. So if you have a balanced crown chakra, you can be in touch with yourself and your spirituality, your higher self, your higher being, the oneness, all whatever word it is that works for you. Like I said, for me, it's the cosmos and it's Mother Earth. And I love grounding myself. And I actually ground myself before every show. And then I connect out because in order for me to be present, I need to connect, root, and then send it out to the cosmos, because that's what I'm basically doing with the show. I'm projecting out to all of you through this wonderful technology of video and sound. So let's begin. Let's all receive a breath. And let's sit with our feet on the floor to ground ourselves, being as comfortable as we possibly can. And just make sure that you can be in this position for a little while. So you can shift yourself, though, if you need to, should you go off in your thoughts and then need to bring yourself back. So it's okay to have all of your thoughts. They're all welcome, always. And before I even start with the whole breathing, I want to also mention that along with the color purple, that if you're feeling as though you need to be more connected, eating purple foods, blueberries, blue foods. I can't begin to tell you how many blueberries I ate this week. And then when I went to read over this meditation, I realized that I had been eating all these blue foods, all these blueberries in preparation for this week's session, for this week's show, which I'm always just fascinated how the universe keeps giving me exactly what I need when I need it. And even if I don't even know that I need it. So let's all receive a deep breath. And allow our eyes to close. And bring our awareness to our breath and noticing the rise and the fall of our chest just for a few moments. If you find your thoughts wandering, that's okay. Just bring them back to the crown. Let them come and welcome them. Be kind to yourself. There's no forcing. Bringing your attention back to your breath and the natural rhythm of your own breathing. Breathing into the belly, then to the chest, and slowly begin to release the air. Let's do this for a couple of more breaths. Let's envision all of your energy centers, bringing your attention to your root, the base of your spine. Remember that little tiny ball of red energy? Well, let's bring it back and start spinning it and allowing its red light to glow and root you down through your tush, your bottom, all the way through your legs, rubbing your feet on the floor and really presencing your body in the root. Moving up a few inches just below the navel to your creative center, and that now orange ball spinning. Watch it glow and nourish your creative center, your creativity, those juices that flow with the creation that is all that you are. Allow this light to infuse your abdomen with its healing energy. This tiny yellow ball, moving it up to your solar plexus, to your power, allowing it to expand and move out and expand your power source. Bring it in and allow it out. In and out. Let this nourish you. Now, moving to the bridge, to the heart, to the center chakra. Green ball of light spinning, nourishing your chest area, infusing this green emerald light with love. The love that emanates from you, through you, as you. Receive and share. Bringing this energy up to the throat, to this turquoise light glow of a ball that spins in your throat. It heals your voice, your throat, and your mouth, and allows you to speak and manifest all of the creativity and the love that you have within. Move to the space between your eyebrows, right here, your third eye, and that beautiful indigo ball of light that is spinning and illuminates your forehead, connecting you to your inner wisdom that is you. Continuing to breathe in and out, watching all of these lights, these balls spinning for the first six chakras, joining all the colors and bringing them all up to the crown and allowing this beautiful violet purple light that's now spinning just on the top of your head, a few inches above, and it changes into a deep color purple. And it's activating your divinity, your divine, your connection to the all that there is, to the universe, to all things. Allowing this creative energy, this motivation, this courage that has now moved up through all of you and coming out through you, connecting you to the truth of the all that there is. Feel this connection grow. Feel the love, the oneness within yourself and with all the world. Allow this beautiful purple light to surround your head, your chest, and your whole body, your legs. Just circling yourself, enveloping yourself in this incredible purple, violet brightness that you are emanating. As you breathe, bring the air into your belly. Breathe in and out. And now we're going to chant a couple of times what some believe is the sound of the universe, the Om. So inhale, and on the exhale, Om. Now, with each breath that you take, notice that they are filled with wisdom, connection, oneness, and love. And now, either repeat after me or say to yourself, I am connected to infinite wisdom. I have a deep wisdom that I can tap into at any time. I am one with all things. I am a divine soul. I am balanced. I am grateful. I am inspired. I feel all life moving through me as me. I feel an overall contentment with life. I am present. I am love. I am peace. As you continue to breathe, keep this healing light energized. Notice the ribbons of the purple light weave in and around your head, in the space around you, infusing everything with connection and wisdom. Inhale, exhale. And when you are ready, allow your eyes to open. Bring yourself back into the present moment. And when we come back from break, we're going to talk more about consciousness and love. And you're listening to the Feel to Heal show with Sharyn Nichols. And I look forward to seeing you back in a couple of minutes.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to the Feel to Heal show with Sharyn Nichols. And just before the break, I did a meditation to open up all of the chakras and then connect us to our higher consciousness, to being one with the one. And there's so many different variations, so many different words. And I do hope that you find the one that works for you in terms of where to plug in. So I'm going to refer to it as self-actualization, as oneness, as consciousness, and please pick the definition that really truly works for you. So I know that I said that today's show was going to be about the 4 stages or levels of consciousness, and I will get to them. They were created by Michael Beckwith, who is a reverend at Agape, and one of my mentors and greatest teachers, Kate Roger, adapted them for this incredible program that I was involved in for multiple years called the Modern Day Priestess Training. And I did the program, I did the training as a participant twice, and then as a co-facilitator 4 times. So a total of 6 times. And it really, truly took me that long to fully get and understand what it all meant. And so before I go to the 4 stages, I really feel as though I need to acknowledge Abraham Maslow, because he was the first one to talk about, or at least send me, I should say, he was the first one to send me on this path of self-discovery without me even knowing it. I was actually introduced to him my first year in college as a freshman in the business program. I was in that class of, the weeder out class, where they say to you at the beginning of the class, look to your right, look to your left. Actually, I did it the other way. And know that you or all 3 of you may not be here next year. And because there was 200 people in this lecture hall, and I really truly didn't understand at the time why we were being introduced to Maslow's hierarchy of needs with regards to business, although it then began to make sense. So Maslow started off with 5 stages, and then over his lifetime, which I also totally respect, he added in a bunch of things. Like, he went with the flow, he changed things up, he added to his own belief system and way of looking at life that I so can identify with, and would like to think that that's what I have been up to. So first, he believed that our physiological needs needed to be met. So breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, that once we had our physical needs met, that we can then move to the next level. So then safety is the second stage. It looks like a pyramid. Security of our body, employment, resources, morality, family, health, and property, things, tangible items. And then the third is love and belonging, friendship, family, sexual intimacy. The 4th stage, esteem, self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, and respect by others. You can see where we're going with this. If our physical needs are met, and then we can then start working on the rest of the things that we as human beings would like to think that we want to evolve to. So then there's the last one, which is self-actualization. Morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, and acceptance of facts. So what he added in, which I really think is really, truly important, is just before self-actualization, he said, let's talk about cognitive needs, knowledge and understanding, curiosity, exploration, need for meaning and predictability. And then our aesthetic needs, appreciation, and search for beauty, balance, and form. So, self-actualization, what is it exactly? Really? I mean, it's so esoteric. If you think about it, it is a process, and it's different for everyone. And not everyone can achieve all levels of the hierarchy that I just mentioned throughout their lives. So, in the beginning, Maslow believed that self actualization was actually somewhat rare and that only about 1% of the adult population had actually self actualized. Although, as time has moved on, more people believe that number is actually quite higher. Although self actualization has not been found to correlate with age, gender, income level, or race. So that's also another beautiful thing that I really do respect and really like about this whole process is that it is unique to you, which is something that I have been talking about, that there's only one you, so you might as well just be you because everyone else is taken. So self-actualization is thought to be best conceptualized as the sum of its parts rather than as traits viewed in just simple isolation. So, for example, a person who has a creative spirit, which is one trait of self-actualization, may not still be fully self-actualized. So some experts say that the theory of self-actualization is more about how open a person is to growth and health rather than about achieving the ideals such as perfection, success, or happiness. I'm going to slow down for a moment. So, in addition, those that do self-actualize may not necessarily remain in that actual state. You can flow in and out of them. You may reach a point and then realize, wait a second, I need a new job. Yes, I'm really good where I am and I have this basic need met, although it's time for me to stretch myself and do something more. And so it is part of the self-actualization, although it sort of knocks you back down to sort of the beginning of now securing your basic needs. So again, Maslow developed the concept of the hierarchy of needs to address both the basic and the esoteric needs of human existence. It's one of the reasons why I've been so attracted to him as a psychologist. He was bringing in psychology and the mind along with all the esoteric things that we experience as human beings as we move through our life. So for Maslow, self-actualization describes the desire that leads to realization of one's full potential. So a self-actualizer is a person who has reached the apex of human existence. So in other words, according to Maslow, that person has become everything they're capable of becoming. So this realization of potential can occur in many ways and generally includes the achievement of a sound psychological health and a strong sense of fulfillment. So according to Maslow, self-actualized people accept themselves and others, have a well-developed sense of creativity, maintain deep and meaningful relationships, can exist autonomously, have a great sense of humor, and have the ability to find humor in their own mistakes. I think you've noticed that I laugh at myself a lot. They can accurately perceive reality, both as it pertains to the self and others, and they have a strong sense of purpose and perform regular tasks toward that purpose. So as you can see, he's continued to grow and expand more and more on his belief system, as I assume that he did as he went through his life. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk more about consciousness and moving through our lives. You're listening to the Feel to Heal show with Sharyn Nichols, and I look forward to seeing you back in a couple of minutes.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Feel to Heal show with Sharyn Nichols on the Inspired Choices Network, and I am so excited that you came back. Thanks. Talking about Maslow and his hierarchy of needs and I continue to throw myself off. Isn't it wonderful? See, I get to keep experiencing and learning because ultimately I would like to reach self-actualization. And because self-actualization involves a strong sense of purpose and self-awareness, as well as the need to meet my or one's basic needs, it can be a very challenging goal. However, people who do self-actualize at some point in life may be able to retain access to this level because they've learned all the necessary skills to achieve fulfillment. And I think I mentioned before, well, I know I shouldn't say I mentioned before that I have been on this lifelong journey, or I should say the past 15 years of my life journey to self-actualize, to be able to be in the present moment and just be one with myself, one with the one. And the beautiful thing is that not everyone will seek self-actualization or as a goal, although it's been mine. And people of different cultures may have different opinions about what constitutes self-actualization or that state of being. So I just want to mention that I am so open, and that really just that this is my interpretation of my belief of what I believe Maslow was saying. And then also when I start talking about the 4 stages, it's also my interpretation of what I believe we need in order to be self-actualized. So some examples of self-actualization may manifest itself in many forms. So someone who is self-actualized may appear and how a self-actualized person may appear can depend on their age, culture, and other factors. So some examples of the behavior that a self-actualized person might exhibit, I think I already said some, but getting enjoyment and satisfaction out of the present moment. finding humor, understanding what they need in order to gain a sense of fulfillment. So it's not about looking outside of yourself. It's about knowing that you have all that you need. So becoming self-actualized is not always a straightforward process, and it can take years for some people to reach self-actualization. So the last thing that I'm going to say about Maslow is that he actually added on another stage after self-actualization. He called it the transcendence needs. A person is motivated by values which transcend beyond the personal self. An example, mystical experiences and certain experiences with nature, aesthetic experiences, sexual experiences, service to others, the pursuit of science, and religious faith. I needed to share all of this because this is the basis and the root for me and my belief system and things that I've been looking for, that I have been participating in order to achieve. So in psychology, self-actualization is achieved when you're able to reach your full potential. So being truly self-actualized is considered the exception rather than the rule, since most people are mostly working to meet their more pressing needs. Another really big reason why I spent a lot of time talking about Abraham Maslow is that he was often criticized for his lack of scientific evidence. I have always felt that there needs to be a balance between the esoteric, the spiritual, and psychology, and I have not been always looking for the empirical basis for that. It's just been a thought and a feeling that I have had. And so I, again, identify so much with his belief system because it just feels so in alignment with me, because as I have said so many times, and you will continue to hear me say over and over again, is that they are just thoughts and you don't have to act on them. So now let's talk about oneness and consciousness. Adding to the conversation of self-actualization. So what is oneness? What is oneness spirituality? It is to have a deep understanding and an experience that we are all one. We are all manifestations of the same consciousness. My belief is that we are whole and complete as we are. We are the unique, important pieces of the whole, the oneness. There is no separation. We are all the same and unique in the way that we are all the same. Our uniqueness makes us the same. So in order for there to be a victim consciousness, there has to be a belief that in separation. So the way I look at it is, what makes up the whole pie? An apple pie. Think of it as an apple pie. So what makes it whole? All of the ingredients are unique in their own form. The egg, the sugar, the flour, the apples, the cinnamon, and whatever else you put in there are all unique, and they are all so incredibly necessary for the whole, to make the whole pie. So they're all equal. I mean, maybe you put in different amounts, although they're all so necessary in order to create the whole. Just gonna keep breathing. So let's talk a little bit about consciousness. There's the big consciousness and the little consciousness. The big C consciousness is the divine intelligence itself. It is the I am presence. The little c consciousness is what we perceive as individuals as our own awareness. These are both very, very powerful tools. So we use the little c to tap into the big C. So we are, again, it's all one, although they are equally as important. So first it's about recognizing yourself and where you are, and then bringing it to the whole. So Michael Beckwith grouped consciousness into 4 stages, the 4 stages of maturation. The 4 stages of maturation in consciousness. The first stage is the victim consciousness. And that seems to be where the collective conscious seems to be. It's where we all are. Life is happening to me. I know we have all experienced something that has caused us in our life to feel as though we are a victim. Some of them are really, really, really huge and are very traumatic, and have most people spend a lot of time dealing with that trauma and bringing themselves back because they get triggered into that victim mode. And I empower and I support all with the big, huge traumas that they've experienced or we've all experienced in our lives to work through them and seek the help and advice and the support that you need in order to move through your victimness for yourself so you can move on. We've all had, like I said, the big ones and then even the little ones, which are, I consider just being caught in traffic or when someone cuts you off. I can't begin to tell you how many times I have screamed at the person who has cut me off. In that moment, I've absolutely allowed myself to be the victim of that person that cut me off. And I have had multiple conversations with people and about this, and it is so freeing and releasing for me when I scream with the windows up. So of course, no, do not want to be a victim of road rage. Again, being a victim, more victimness, really trying to move through it. So along with being the victim, it may feel as though everyone is also out to get you, your boss, the government, family and friends can even be rude or selfish. And the biggest thing that we do as a victim is we take it all too personally. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk more about the 4 stages of consciousness and what we can do to move from the victim consciousness to the next stage, which is the manifestor creator. Life happens by you. And I look forward to seeing you back. You're listening to the Feel to Heal show with Sharyn Nichols on the Inspired Choices Network.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Feel to Heal show with Sharyn Nichols on the Inspired Choices Network. And before the break, we were talking about the first stage of consciousness, which is the victim consciousness. And the biggest thing that we do as victims is we take things personally. So one of the ways that we move out of the victim consciousness first stage is we eventually get so tired of constantly being the victim that we begin to believe that we can actually now control our own life. In order to move from victim, we need to begin to believe that we can control our own life. So that is the second stage, the manifestor creator. Life happens by you. The recognition that you can create something that has never been created before. You can create your own reality. It's all about me. Look what I did. You think that you are taking back your power, which can be a good thing, or you just get caught in the egoism of it all. It becomes very egoic. So this is the stage where most extremists live. They want to create the us versus them mentality. This is another aspect that keeps you separated from the whole. It is that you may be so hard on yourself, setting unrealistic goals and pushing too hard to make something happen and thinking that you create your own reality. Again, keeping you separate from the natural flow of your life. And then therefore, it doesn't allow you to actually be present. So in order to move from this stage, you must recognize that blaming everyone else, being a victim, and trying to control everything is really so exhausting. Just going to let that go. So the third stage is the through me stage. The belief that life happens through you. It truly means that trusting that everything that happens in your life has a purpose and is meaningful. To achieve this level, you should, and yes, I am shoulding, be able to wake up each day tapping into your higher level of vibrations, of peace, joy, and the excitement for whatever the day is going to bring for you. You go with the flow. You are present for each moment, not thinking about the past or worrying about the future, feeling immense gratitude. I had an incredible experience of this through me about 12 years ago. So this was just at the beginning when I was first starting to learn about these stages. I know you see this wonderful painting behind me, and I know I've spoken about the artist, Sharyn. I had the opportunity to spend some time with her, and she was in the middle of painting a picture for someone, or painting, not a picture. She was painting for someone, and the basis of the painting was of Moses. And she looked at me, and I was with two other priestesses, And she looked at me and she said, "Will you bless my painting?" And as you can imagine, in the very early stages, I went through all of these thoughts in my head. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Everybody's judging me. Oh my God, what do I do? Again, everyone is judging me. And was so caught up in my own little mishigas in my head. And then I just took a deep breath. And I just put my hands out over the painting. And a voice came through me that I did not recognize. And I just started singing the Shema, which is the morning and evening prayer that in Judaism that you say if you are devout Jew, if you're a devout Jew, you say this prayer, and it's about oneness, and it's about family, and it's about connecting and teaching, and it's about the ancestors. It's all about the through line. And I just started singing, and for me, I completely let go of what I thought everyone was going to think in that moment. I just allowed. So I was just feeling immense gratitude. So it was recommended that to support yourself, to stay in this third stage, to repeat what Ram Dass wrote. Where am I? Here. What time is it? Now. So once you realize that everything in your life flows, you open yourself up to the possibility that life is you and you are life. So life is you is the fourth stage. You are not separate from anything around you, people, animals, nature, and every experience that you have is all connected. You are experiencing life, and life is experiencing itself through you. You get to enjoy the intrinsic piece of the whole that is you. You just know. You just are. So this to me is what being self-actualized is. Your consciousness is your ability to be aware of yourself and the world around you. You always get to connect your own awareness with the greater awareness. The big C with the little c, and the little c with the big C. And so I'm just going to start singing about the C's. Please know that these stages are not linear and that you can go in and out of them at any time. That's why to presence yourself, where am I? Here. What time is it? Now. Like I said, it's also, I get taken out of my present state when I get in the car and I'm so excited to drive and I get cut off by someone, although I get to release my anger in the moment at that person so it doesn't back up. And so then I don't carry it with me into my meeting or into my next experience. I get to let it go. And isn't that great? So please be mindful. Please tap into your own consciousness and your own higher power and continue to surround yourself with the incredible, beautiful, violet bright light that surrounds you always. You always can tap into it. Thank you. Be yourselves. Everyone else is taken. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for choosing to listen to the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show. Sharyn Nichols will return next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, give up the struggle, feel all you need to feel, and make this week your best one yet.